We are planning a pretty crazy garden for the spring, guys. So I figured I'd do a series of vlogs about the progress and updates of our garden, which I'm very excited for. So I figured I'd show you guys what we've done so far in January of 2018. Hi, this is LaneVids. This is where we're all about building a stronger family bond, and one of the ways we do that is through gardening. We get our kids out here and get them playing in the dirt, and it's just a great way to work together as a team, as your family. So if you can do that, try and get out there and get your kids outside, even if it's cold. It was a little chilly. We put on jackets, or a little rainy, put on a rain jacket, get outside and have some fun. So this is one area of our garden right here. We have talked about this in previous videos, and it's a haven for weeds. So last year I dug all this up and we put down a fresh layer of everything, and so this year we've really kind of outdone it, and we got all these great wood chips that we can get for free where we live, and we laid that all down, and there's also a layer of compost underneath that as well. So hopefully we got a good garden going here. Now, last year we also, that little spot right there, we started doing a little planting right there because we figured it was near a fence and there's lots of sun that comes right there. Then we've got it wood chipped and we put down compost underneath that, and it had great dirt underneath it already from last year. So this year we decided to expand. We added a whole bunch more stuff right here. Now this right here, it does not have compost in it yet. We found a documentary, a film about a style of gardening, a method of gardening called the Garden of Eden method. I'll link it up there. I'll link it down in the description below. And if you're into gardening and you want to it's basically like no-till gardening. Put down what you need and leave it down there. Basically, you put down cardboard, you put down compost, and then you put wood chips on top, and then you plant you move the wood chips away and you plant into that, and it's supposed to be awesome for the plants. So we're trying that. Then we also found another guy on YouTube who created a food forest in his backyard, and that's kind of where we want to end up. We're kind of at the beginning stages of building a food forest. And so what we have here is we have cardboard, and then we didn't have enough compost to be able to fill this whole area in. So we just put a good layer of wood chips, and I think we want to put a little bit more on there as well. That goes all the way back, if y'all can remember this bed right here. This used to be a raised bed, and we decided to take it down, and it already had good soil in it, so we didn't want to not use that soil. And then we put down a little bit more cardboard and kind of spread it out a little bit. We have a tarp over it because we put down the compost, but we ran out of the wood chips that we get for free. So we need to go get another truckload of that to be able to do to make the garden how we want it right there. And then we're also going to add some compost and wood chips around the tree there. We have that tree there and that tree over there. And then there's a few other trees in the yard that also need some TLC. So hopefully we're able to get some compost and whatnot from there. And then there's also this tree right here. Eventually, what I would like is for this garden right here to go all the way to that fence post right there, where that wooden trash, that's a compost bin right there, come all the way through here. Like this whole area would just be garden. We also have these two garden boxes right here as well, which our friend gave to us. It's just wood, pallet wood that he nailed together and whatnot. And so we got the compost on there. We haven't had a chance to get any of the wood chips on there, but we want to put that down as well. And there's cardboard underneath there. After we put cardboard though, we put down some leaves, hoping that would help to enrich the soil a little bit, and hopefully try and kill some of the grass that's underneath there. So now we have that right there. We've got those two garden boxes, and we have all that over there. Now let's go to the other side of the yard. If y'all don't know, we have kind of a funny shaped yard, but I have been picking up leaves and cardboard and newspaper from our neighbors. and apparently the leaves are coming down this year because we started a little garden. We had this garden back here last year as well. Krista already has some pea plants planted in there and they tend to be doing well. We put down that layer of compost. By the way, the compost that we get is called pouilly. It's made at a place, a farm in Rain, and it's basically horse manure that's been sitting out, and they have a place that sells it right up the road here. So we got some. We put that down there. We want to wood chip that over. We got a little trellis that I just cleaned off today. Can't really see the trellis. That's interesting. There it is. And so hopefully that does really well. The soil should be very fertile there. Then we had some other stuff planted over here last year, just like little rings of tomato plants. We decided to go ahead and dirt up this whole area. It's actually wood chips right there. We wood chipped out this whole area. This area, again, just like the other area, is cardboard, leaves, and then we got compost on that. We got compost on that, and then we put the layer of wood chips on top of that. Then, y'all think we're nuts, we're doing all kind of stuff. Then we did the same thing all along this fence right here, all the way to back there. So we should hopefully have a lot of vining plants that'll grow well right here, and they can all vine up the fence here. We still have our passion fruit from last year. We planted this and it's doing really well, and this is a plant that is perennial, so that means it comes back every single year. It never goes away, and we want it to just kind of vine all the way. See, this is it all the way right here. It goes, the stem's right there, and then it roots around that way, and then it's just been vining out. So very excited about that too. It makes some pretty awesome fruit as well, and really neat flowers. Now the other part of our garden is this right here. And this is kind of a test, really. We want to turn, like I said, we want to turn it into a food forest. So hopefully all of this back here will eventually be like fruit trees and plants and perennials and all kind of stuff that that'll produce something that you can eat. And so we put down cardboard here and a little bit of newspaper, and then I just like went looking for bags and bags of leaves that our neighbors were getting rid of, and I just wanted to pile it on top because I want to kill all the grass right here. I don't want any grass coming up. And then I think in about a year, I'm gonna let this sit here, and then in about a year the ground will be really, hopefully really fertile, so that we can put down a layer of compost and a layer of wood chips on top of that. So we'll have a nice huge area right there to grow in. So that's very exciting too. I'm kind of curious to see how this particular bed does. We probably won't be planting anything in that this year. We just we want to see how everything else does, and plus this is a shadier spot in the yard. There's a big giant tree up there, so it kills a lot of the light over here. So possibly if that tree comes down, we could definitely get some more light right there so that we can grow a little bit better. But this area right here in front of the fence is another area that we have put down cardboard and compost and wood chips all on top, just like we did in the other areas, that Garden of Eden style of gardening. And what we want to do here is, if y'all remember from our trip to Jacksonville, Florida, we stayed with Krista's aunt and uncle, and they have a tomato bush in their yard called a midget tomato. I've never heard of Mexican midget tomatoes. And we think that they're going to grow really well right here. They're perennial, so they stay around the entire year. And it's a bush. It's a bush of tomatoes. And it's like these teeny tiny tomatoes. And they're so good and so sweet. So they gave us some seed, or we got some seed from Krista's grandfather, he got it from them. So we're going to plant some of that right there, and hopefully that does well. Another thing we would like to do is to kind of extend this out a little bit. I don't know if we'll have enough to do this year, but extend this out so that we can grow things on this side of the fence and they can climb up this way as well. So we got a lot of gardening plans for this year, and hopefully we can have a good harvest. You know, last year was kind of like, we're just kind of getting into it, kind of learning how things grow in the yard and whatnot, and we just planted like little things here and there. And this year, I think we're gonna have a pretty good gardening season. We already have this stuff planted right here, which I already showed y'all, and then inside we also have some seeds that have already started to sprout. It's, I think, some broccoli seeds, and hopefully this weekend or so we'll be planting those. So I think weekly I want to do these garden vlog updates. So if you guys are liking this, make sure to click that subscribe button. If you want to watch some of our other videos, I'll put some more videos right there on the screen. Also, I started a new channel called Dad Reviews, and I have a playlist of gardening things. I'll link that up right up there and down in the description below if you want to check out some of the gardening tools and whatnot that we're using for our garden. I do a review of them, and I'll be adding to that playlist as time goes on. But if you guys want to watch more videos, I'll put more right there on the screen. Would love to have you click that subscribe button if you want to stay updated with us. Thank you guys for watching. Hopefully we can do some of these garden videos with the family and whatnot. And thanks for being shiggity shag.